Hey, my pals. Thursday tips time. And I got an analogy for you, a little bit like why cheese and cooking are like your content. Let's talk about mixing up your content formats. So, I like to cook. And those who follow me and, know me personally know that I love to grill. I'm the grill master, but I cook all the time. And content marketing can be a lot like cooking. There's a lot of different ingredients. We can make things together in different recipes. You wind up with different meals. I mean, think about all the different ways that you can cook chicken. Think about all of the different ways you could use eggs or even green beans. Oh, man, I love grilled green beans. Total game changer when I discovered that. Sometimes it's easier to steam them in the microwave. And my mother just eats them raw when she's helping me prepare them. And as much as I would like to exist just on cheese, any cheese, all of the cheeses, that's not a good diet. And that's kind of like, it is in our content. I mean, as awesome as email is, well, we also need some images and maybe some GIFs to go along with all that text. Maybe our images need the GIFs. The emails need them too. And that's why Facebook posts with images and GIFs and videos and even those silly colored backgrounds that Facebook gives us often perform well or better than just a text post or a post with a link. So we mix it up. Okay. And that's cool. But also there's some reasons like why different formats. Different people learn in different ways. And I know if you talk to anybody in education and educational theory, there are going to be people who believe in the different modalities of learning and other people who debunk it. But look, it just, there's a lot of truth to that. The fact that we do learn differently and that sometimes we need a mix of things to learn, that no single type of content appeals to everyone on any platform or every platform. And that's also especially true on your own website, which is why even when your own blog needs to mix things up and some of the posts are going to be longer and some of them you probably should have some infographics or some graphics with stats or a recap or bullet points to help break up all that text. And we also have our own preferences as business owners, as content creators, and our strengths in creating content. And wherever your strengths are, that means it's easier for you to get it done, get it out there, which means you're going to get seen. You're going to attract the right for you clients, which means that you have clients. And it's business building. It also makes it easier to repurpose from those areas of strength. So for me, it's easier to start with text. So I write notes, and the notes are, the emails. And sometimes, while I used to start off with maybe with blogging, now it's email, and then the email turns into the blog post. Or I'm writing out text in a Word document, it's over here on the screen, for my notes for a video like this. And because I'm actually typing in full sentences for my notes, I'm not reading it. That makes it really easy for me to repurpose that into a blog post, into an email, more emails than after that. But somebody else, it might be talking. Talking is your natural ability. Cool. Then you might want to use the talk to text features in Google and in other things. You can just make words come out via talking if that's easier for you. But you might also have been born to be a podcaster. Maybe you don't want to appear on camera like I'm doing right now. Cool. You don't have to do that with a podcast. Also, no, podcast doesn't mean you have to show up every week or with X number of episodes. I've been following somebody who's a really regular podcaster, and he's like, wow, that's really draining. And you know what? I decided I'd rather do like series, like 8 episodes on one topic, dig that in, and we'll take a little break, and then we're going to come back to the next topic. You do you, folks. You can then repurpose that audio into text or video if you want, and if that fits the learning styles of your audience. Also, sometimes we need to see a video to go, oh, that's how those things connect. Like when my mighty pals ask me something about email or landing pages or opt-in forms, or the other day we had a call and we're talking about how to use aliases and run your domain-based email through Gmail. Well, I can explain that in text in the Mighty Marketing Mojo group, but why was it so much easier for me to just hop on video and show you? And I showed you how to do it. It was about 8 minutes. And then there's also the text to go along with it. I need the text and the video. Maybe your people are like that as well. And some content formats are better for awareness and entertainment. Hello, GIFs, images, videos, and others are for education. Okay, different type of videos. And so, yes, using those different types of formats of content can help our ROI, return on investment. So, like, there was some research done by the folks at Opt-in Monster. It's a tool that helps you put nice looking opt-in forms on all of your website. And they looked at 15 common types of content. And they discussed the ease of creation and benefits and how they can, help your biz. And I'll drop that link to that article if you want to read it in the comments. But I noticed that they kind of mixed up both content format and how do you say content purpose, so what I'm talking about is the fact that we need, for example, text-based content. And then text-based content can show up different ways in your business. That can be a blog post. That can be what Opt-in Monster called a long-form article, which is just basically a really meaty, deep dive, comprehensive blog post. Or that text could be an ebook or an e-guide, that all kinds of text that people read in order to consume and then act on it. And text is really easy to repurpose into other forms of content. Some folks out there are readers and writers, so it's easiest for you to start with text. And just about everybody out there who's in your audience is going to want some kind of text at some point, but you don't need to, and nor should you stick with just text, because we also need different types of graphical content. So what I'm talking about here, images, photos, could be your own, could be the stuff you just snap casually, as well as any stock photos that you're using, illustrations. As humans, we're very visual and we respond to colorful images. I mean, that's the entire reason why Instagram and TikTok and Pinterest are incredibly popular, and why all socials, similar social platforms have boomed. Why? Because we're visual. We want to see it. And we want to see things. Of course, now we've moved to video and we want to see people, and Instagram isn't just pretty images. But anyway, graphics can add to your text content. They can help show things. They break up your text. They help the eye get through things. They reinforce a point. And yes, absolutely, you need graphics in your opt-ins if your opt-ins are, text-based as well. But then there's other types of graphics. So infographics in particular, it's a form of graphic. It mixes text, numbers, graphic elements in a way to tell a story with data or facts or numbers. So popping over here real quick, I'm inside of Canva. And this is actually another different type of content we'll get to in a second. So you can make this easy on yourself. You never, ever have to try and create an infographic from scratch, because there's literally 2,211 templates inside of Canva that are infographics. And then you can even look like what kind of infographic: illustration, simple, minimalist, education, business, different themes. The point is that they're drawing the eye down. This is really great to input into a blog post. Maybe you even use this in an email at some point to break up maybe steps. If you have in your business, in your course, you have a signature system, you have steps you want people to follow, you have a method. Infographics are a really great way to show that. Hello, variation on an infographic would be really great on a sales page to show this is my process that you're going through. I just disappeared off the screen. And I'm back. The irony is I'm hardwired into the Ethernet right now. So this is an option for you. Okay, cool. So other ones. Well, we need other types of, and you can sort of see that in graphics. Charts, diagrams, graphs. It's another specific type of a graphic element. I'm not saying you're going to use all of these all at once, but do think about where showing something like this, a numbers or data, would help a concept to be understood better. I'm teaching in somebody else's membership later. I'm talking with Pam Hamilton. I'm doing a skill shop in her membership. And yes, I made a graph, actually. I think I made 2 graphs in the slides. Why? Because it was easy to show. And then I copied a graph out of ActiveCampaign because I want to show that I'm walking my talk about email marketing. So it's the graph that's showing the growth in my email community over time. It's one thing if I tell you it's gone up 2,000 and some odd percent. It's another thing if you see it. Don't forget, those kinds of graphics are great for social media as well as being in those ebooks and blog posts and so on. So audio. This is the one that maybe it's personally surprised me, but then again, you're talking to somebody who is hearing impaired. So audio isn't my preferred content format. But I know that it is the preferred content format for a whole lot of people. And if that's you in my audience, drop me a comment so that I know that I need to be giving you audio content or audio versions of what I produce. Because I've kind of put it off and I maybe shouldn't have been. You know, there's audiobooks. I'm trying to think what group we were talking about, about Audible and about ebook subscriptions and recommending that. And we did a couple of friends have done list roundups. Erica did one about podcasts for her audience. And Pam had mentioned books. And then they were talking about, well, we should mention the audio books that we listen to. This could be a simple sound file. You don't have to have an ongoing podcast. You could still have audio and be using something like SoundCloud to have that audio component in a blog post. If you use Zoom, it produces the audio file for your calls separately from the video. Makes it really easy to just repurpose that as a audio file. Why is audio so popular? Because so many people are using it for multitasking, for listening on the go, for time-shifted content. Course creators are beginning to use it as like private podcasts and the Hello Audio tool and similar, so that, again, people who want to catch portions of your class or your webinar or little bits of modules can download it on the phone and listen to it. They go put it on CarPlay, and while they're going to pick the kids up at school, they got 15 minutes of you in their head. Others of I know you've gotten in touch with me and you're like, I want to do audio, but it goes in one ear and out the other. It's not for everybody, but having these different formats means we're more likely to hit more of our ideal people because we've mixed and repurposed the different content formats. So the visual people are getting it, and the audio people are getting it, and the text people are also getting it. Repurpose it smartly, because if you start with text, you can turn it into all of these other formats of content, or you start with video, you can strip out audio, you can get transcripts and get text. So again, we all know the algorithms give so much love for video, TikTok, Reels. However, video doesn't have to mean you're doing this live like I'm doing this right now. Doesn't even mean you have to appear on camera. I swear, I'm doing that workshop this fall. We're going to be doing video for the camera shy, how to create videos without ever appearing on camera, because I think it's just that important for you. I mean, look how many videos. Also think about how many tutorial videos exist for every topic under the sun on YouTube. Like, what makes YouTube the number 2 search engine in the world? Why did Google buy it so many years ago? Because of that. Guarantee you, people in your niche are searching for how to something, and if you've got a video explaining how to do X, how to crochet, how to fix your tire, how to eat cheese and not gain weight, then they're gonna love your content if they can find that content in video formats and then links you back to a course or something else. So again, video could also be using stock clips. Video can be photo montages. Video can be animations. Video can be animated text. Nearly every other form of content that I've mentioned can be turned into video, and repurposed vice versa. Now, because I think that GIFs are like one of my love language, yes, they get their own separate content format and their own special little category here. They're lower resolution, small file size, super short videos that loop repeatedly. You know that, right? And yes, I say GIF, not GIF. Fight me. The other reason we love them is because you can't play a video in an email. You can make it look like it does, and it's going to link and take them elsewhere. GIFs play in your emails, and it like gets that trigger. It's that reset of the brain. You're like, oh, something new. Oh, something new. That's why we use them. That and because they give an insight into us as humans and real people. And yes, if you're noting, if you got my email today, tell me in the comments, did you love my GIF? Because I thought that was so spot on. I loved it. Easily shareable, embeddable. Put them in the comments if you want. Drop me a GIF in the comments for this video. I'd love that. Now you sprinkle it around. I'm not saying you have to use all of these types of content all the time. Figure out where's your strength, where does it make sense with your audience, but do mix it up. I can't live on just cheese, and as much as I'd like to, I can't just live on grilled chicken. Sometimes there's got to be some other things in there too, like fried chicken, or today the chicken strips that were over mac and cheese. Oh wait, that was the best of both worlds. Interactive quizzes, games, polls. Why do we all click on BuzzFeed? What kind of princess am I? Why is everybody giving all of their private information to Facebook for the name test things? Because they're addictive. We like knowing that kind of stuff. Like, what's my color personality? Why are quizzes one of the biggest booming lead magnet, aka email opt-in options? We love that interactivity. It could be gamification inside of other content, like a challenge. Ooh, give me the badge inside the Facebook groups. It triggers different things in our brain. You don't want to use it all the time, but using it selectively, like, lights up different parts of our brains. Actionable content. So what am I talking about? This is where I'm going to go back to Canva and so this is a checklist. This is it'd be helpful if I'd actually made it a little bit bigger, right? So that's a checklist. Checklists, worksheets, workbooks. Some of the best email lead magnets out there right now. Why? Because somebody easily, quickly takes action and can see results from using the thing. This is content that can be interacted with, can be downloaded. I'm in a inexpensive $10 challenge this week. By making it inexpensive, by putting a little skin in the game, I'm like, okay, I'm paying attention. I've been attending all of the sessions. And yes, there's gamification and there's badges in there and there's polls. And there was a really super simple workbook for us to download and to fill out. It's interactive, actionable content. Now, as it just so happens, I'm filling it all out in a Google document, but I get it. It's really super easy. And then, of course, there's content that potentially crosses different categories, like a webinar, which has text and graphics and it's video. And you've got original research. And like I mentioned, those long form, mega deep blog posts that probably have a video embedded, or they've got graphics and they've got the infographics. So this is just a reminder that just because something started in one format doesn't mean it has to stay that way. We have our different learning styles, our different preferences. We need things in different formats. Our brains we're all a little bit ADHD, these days, and we have short attention spans. So being able to give things and people to different ways and different formats gets them where they're ready. And maybe something that wouldn't have sunk in as a blog post, they get it because they saw it and they saw the image for it. And when we start with our strength and then repurpose into those different formats, well, we're saving time and we're reaching more people. So another example is if we have a how to do X blog post, well, that can easily become a how to do X video. And then you embed the video back in your blog post. You could then upload that video natively to social media, or you could put it on YouTube and then share it to social media, depending upon, how you created it. Maybe you do simple edits for it, and you put the short snippets onto the short form video tools like Reels and TikTok. Or YouTube even has a short clips, snips, shorts, well, whatever YouTube is calling it. They've got a short version because they want to compete with everybody else with the short video content too. So you could also take that how to do X in the blog post and maybe you build it out. Maybe as part of a content refresh down the road, you add more graphics. You add a chart to it. Oh, wait, now you do that and it becomes an ebook and you can sell the ebook. So here's my challenge to you. Think about at least 3 different ways, 3 different content formats for whatever you're going to do next to talk about your business, to talk about what your audience needs to know about your products or services. If you're helping to launch something, any content that you're using to market your business, I want you to think of 3 different ways you can reuse and reformat that content. Wherever it started from, is this something that's going to become, just an audio snippet? Is it something that's going to become like a text graphic for Instagram? Is it something that's going to become a short video? You go inside a Canva and you make an animation that's just like 15, 30 seconds or 60 seconds. Again, you could use text. You don't have to be on camera for this. But think about it from the moment that you are planning out your content, because that makes it easier to repurpose. You can do this. It doesn't have to be hard. Start with 3. Start with even 1. Saying, I'm going to go from text and I'm going to create a video. I'm going to go from text and I'm going to create a graphic from this. I'm going to create a text infographic with the steps in this blog post. You can do this because you, my friends, are mighty, and you're going to save time by making content that can hit more of your audience in their brains where they need it. All right. Be back with you next week for more Thursday tips. Bye, Mighty Pals.